Growing up as a kid in East LA during the 80s, I came to learn a couple of things about life. One was that nothing is free, and the other was that I was going to see Edward James Olmos for a really, really long time. This guy is in every coming to age Latino film ever. In my lifetime, I always knew him as the dad from Selena, but that was pretty much it. It wasn't until like recently that I actually decided to watch the magnum opus of Latino coming of age films, Stand and Deliver. Now that I look back and reflect on my harsh yet ambitious life that was my childhood, I'm surprised to see that I never really watched any coming to age Latino films. I mean, I had always watched like pieces of La Misma Luna and Selena, but that was probably it. My father watched old Mexican films, usually by like badass cowboy who just shoots anything, and my mom was an horror action film junkie. My brother was really into like comic book films and animations, and I really do believe most of my tastes come from her and my brother. Nevertheless, watching Stand and Deliver made me realize how much it really meant to be a Latino in school. Although, I lived in the mean streets of East LA, I attended a relatively white school across town, and I really did feel disconnected from my roots compared to my friends and other kids my age. I mean, I had always came in with the mindset that I'm just some random kid compared to the other kids who seemed to do it all, but in reality was that I just never had an individual teacher to push me because I quote-unquote don't know any better. Jaime Escalante quitting his high-tech computer science job to become a teacher is insanity, but respectable. I've always been for the idea of doing what one loves over money in any way, shape, or form. Jaime comes into this school knowing that the school is beyond shitty, and its board even worse as well. The board consists of mostly white members and this one like Asian guy who's like one line in the film for like diversity or something. But Jaime comes in and decides he will be the man to change this entire school system and community as well. At first I thought Jaime was a genuine teacher, but later in it, bro just turns into a straight up menace. Like at one point he basically calls this one girl like a slut, and then she obviously gets mad and storms out the class, and he chases her down and literally goes, "What's wrong?" My brother, you just called this 17-year-old girl a whore in front of a packed classroom full of people who don't even like her like that. What do you think is wrong? Overall, the film was pretty good. I really love the cinematography outside the school, and there's this one shot of the kid that left the class early, who was Little Puppet in American Me, driving in his car. That was really nice. I like that scene. Overall, I'd give this movie 4.5 Studios Cholos out of 5. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be a superhero, but I could never figure out which powers to have. I loved Spider-Man, but I could never swing around. I'm too frail, and I don't want to be in a stinky, sweaty suit. I didn't want super speed or super strength because I would have to eat and drink so much, and that just sounded like a headache. However, after watching Paprika, I have finally decided to add another power into that list. Dream walking, or just anything dream related. I say this because dreams are weird no matter what, or maybe just Satoshi Kon is just a weird motherfucker. Like I just don't get him. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Satoshi Kon's films. Like, they're always visually stunning and so creative. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfather. I have them on my top 20 films of all time. But who comes up with this shit? Animation really is a bridge between creativity and film. It's truly such an innovation. Paprika, however, and maybe I just need to rewatch this a couple more times, but oh my god, what did I watch? A visually stunning masterpiece that truly pushes the limits of what animation could be at the time. It's such an interesting concept. The Dream Machine, which is, what I'm going to call it, is a device created so that you can treat and help medicate mentally sick patients. However, it all comes crashing down whenever one of the devices is stolen and blurs the lines between reality and dreamland. Paprika is a really cool and interesting movie that has some really cool shots. I mean, Christopher Nolan quite literally used one of the shots in Inception. By the way, back in the 12th grade, I had to write an essay for my English 1101 class, and I wrote about how Japanese anime has influenced American cinema. And I referenced Paprika without even watching it, and I pretty much said Nolan copied it. I think. I don't know, maybe I'm not a real big fan of heist movies, which is probably the main reason why I haven't seen Inception either. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed the film and cast. Everything in this movie works to a degree. I just don't feel that the romance at the end kind of works. However, I do really like the cop character. His story about wanting to be a famous director and feeling remorse for killing someone is something I can understand and get behind. It's still fuck 12, but like I really enjoyed his development throughout the film, from being an innocent bystander that just wants his dream to go away to actually like embracing them. I would rate this film 3.5 nightmare dream sequences out of 5. When I was married to my ex-wife 8 years ago, I would always wonder if I had never met her, would I still find my way to her? Would we still end up being lovers? Would she still be the love of my life, and would she still be the same way I had found her? Then she divorced me and took the kids, and I live in a lonely apartment facing the Magic City, where I spend the rest of my nights drinking my sorrow away and paying for cheap thrills. However, with Little Fish, I can now see how my theory would live out. In this dystopian world, a virus is rampant that gives you dementia. Our main two characters are just a bunch of folks trying to find out what they want in life. Jude is a professional photographer and Emma's a veterinarian who is despising her job as she's having to put down more and more animals as their owners are forgetting that they have pets and abandoned them. The focal point is mainly through Emma's point of view as she's struggling to take care for the one she loves because of this virus, and to make things worse, she's also British. I really enjoyed the dynamic between the two, and more importantly, Jack O'Connell does a great job as Jude. I really just enjoyed every scene he was in. I do have one problem with this film, however. I promised I wouldn't spoil you all, but I kind of need to. But for those who do mind, skip to this timestamp. Alright, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't skipped, that's on you. I don't think they ever found Emma's mom or whatever was going wrong with her. I think Emma just kind of decided Jude was a little bit easier to help rather than her mom. But, you know, that was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting something. I only watched that movie film like once, and he was on Discord, and we were making fun of it the entire time. Anyways, I would probably give this film 3.5 fishes out of 5. I loved Judas and the Black Messiah. I have been postponing this movie for so long, and I'm so upset that I haven't watched this. Daniel Kaluuya, I was not familiar with your game. Kaluuya's portrayal of Fred Hampton was absolutely stunning. I mean, there are not enough words to describe the job Kaluuya did. Absolutely outstanding work. Lakeith Stanfield did a great job as well as Bill O'Neill. And I feel like every time I watch a film or TV show with Lakeith Stanfield, I just know he's going to cook. Dominique Fishback is great, and I really am upset that my first impression of her was on Swarm. Not saying that Swarm is bad, it is a great show. However, this is one of my favorite films, and I wish this was my first impression of her, you know, to get me really excited for Swarm. Anyway, the story of Fred Hampton and Bill O'Neill is both tragic and upsetting. A once great and liberating organization like the Black Panther Party destroyed by an inside man and the federal government over the fear of the spread of communism. Shaka King does a great job directing this film. There's so many scenes where I just love the cinematography. I think out of all the scenes, I love the Crown HQ scene where the Black Panther Party are surrounded by all the armed crowns. Also, like the wardrobes in this film are phenomenal as well. Like, every time the Black Panthers are in full uniform, they just look so tough. Nothing feels forced in this film, and it genuinely feels like it was being told from the eyes of O'Neill, which I know the film is, but I mean, in a if he was telling the story by word kind of way, this is what I would imagine it would be. Regardless of your political opinion, this is a phenomenal film. A film that illustrates how far the government is willing to go to maintain a capitalist society. Also, the final scene in the film where Fred Hampton is assassinated, and seeing Dominique Fishback's expressions throughout this scene was actually so horrific. Again, the casting in this film was actually phenomenal. I'm going to give this film 4.5 comrades out of 5. And yeah.
Before I leave though, follow the socials. They gonna be in the description type shit. Uh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do for love? You tried everything, but you won't give up. I'm trying to make this video go to 10 minutes because I need the ad revenue. That's just plain me getting the bag. Cause I know this shit not gonna get ads. But it's okay. I gotta make it look good. Either way, it's gonna get to 10 minutes. Fuck you.